14 films from the darkest corners of the human mind. We're not talking about jump scares. We're talking about the kind of film that follows you home. That keeps you awake at 3 in the morning. That makes you question everything you just watched. We built this list from the ground up, starting with the classics and climbing towards something most people have never seen. Position 1 is a hidden gem, a film that deserves to be at the very top of this list. And if you stay until the end, you'll understand exactly why. Let's go. 14. Psycho, 1960. Picture a world before the rules were written. A secretary makes a desperate choice. She steals money and runs. She ends up at a remote motel on a rainy night. The man behind the desk seems harmless, fragile even. He talks about his mother. He apologizes. He smiles. And then something shifts. Alfred Hitchcock stripped cinema down to pure fear. No color, no excess, just shadow, angles, and that iconic score. Bernard Herrmann's strings don't just accompany the film. They are the film. The cinematography is cold, precise, deliberate. Every frame feels like a trap being set. This film invented the modern psychological thriller. Every single movie on this list owes it a debt. It belongs here not because it surprises you. You already know the story. It belongs here because without it, none of the others would exist. The foundation, the origin, the reason we are all here tonight. 13. The Sixth Sense, 1999. A child sits in the corner of a room. He whispers something barely audible. 6 words that change cinema forever. He is 8 years old. He is terrified. And he carries a secret that no one around him can handle. M. Night Shyamalan built this film like a Swiss watch. Every scene, every line, every glance placed with surgical precision. The performances are devastating in their restraint. Bruce Willis delivers the quietest, most emotionally controlled work of his career. Haley Joel Osment carries the entire emotional weight of the story. On the shoulders of a child. The twist. Everyone knows the twist. That is exactly why it sits at position 13. Cultural overexposure is the only enemy here. Because the craft, the emotion, the direction, they remain flawless decades later. Watch it again with someone who has never seen it. And watch their face. That reaction never gets old. Never. 12. The Silence of the Lambs, 1991. She walks into a maximum security facility. She is young, alone, determined. And across a pane of glass sits the most dangerous mind she will ever face. He doesn't need a weapon. He only needs your attention. And once he has it, he never gives it back. Jonathan Demme built a film that is technically impeccable. Close-up framing that breaks the fourth wall, making the villain speak directly to you. Anthony Hopkins delivers every syllable with terrifying calm. Jodie Foster carries vulnerability and steel in equal measure. The editing is relentless. The score is suffocating. 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. It is one of the most awarded films in Hollywood history. And yet it sits at 12 on this list. Not because it doesn't deserve higher, but because the world already knows it too well. Every frame has been analyzed, quoted, imitated. For the thrill of discovery, we must keep climbing. 11. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, 2011. A disgraced journalist. A brilliant, damaged hacker. And a mystery that a powerful family has buried for 40 years. They should never have started digging, because what they find was never meant to be found. David Fincher took Stieg Larsson's bestseller and made it colder, sharper, more clinical. The Swedish Winter is practically a character. Gray, relentless, suffocating. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross deliver a score that sounds like a machine slowly malfunctioning. Rooney Mara transforms completely. She doesn't play Lisbeth Salander, she becomes her. This film is a procedural on the surface. Underneath, It is a portrait of violence, survival, and memory. The corruption goes deeper than anyone expected. The truth is uglier than the mystery. And by the time the final frame hits, you will understand why some secrets kill the people who keep them, and the ones who find them. 10. The Others, 2001. A grand house. Heavy curtains that never open. 2 children who cannot be exposed to light. A mother who is running out of explanations. And footsteps in the room above. In a room that should be empty. Alejandro Amenabar composed the score himself. Directed, wrote the screenplay. The result is a film built entirely from atmosphere. No CGI, no cheap scares. Just shadows, silence, and dread. Nicole Kidman gives one of the most underrated performances of her career. A woman held together by faith and routine, slowly unraveling as both betray her. This film is criminally overlooked. It deserves to be mentioned alongside the great ghost films of all time. The architecture of the mystery is elegant and precise. And the final revelation, without giving anything away, will recontextualize every single scene you just watched. Every single one. Slow down, pay attention. This one rewards patience. 9. Black Swan. She wants to be perfect. Not good, not great, perfect. And perfection, in this film, is a wound, one that bleeds slowly. She is a ballerina. She is also coming apart. Darren Aronofsky shot this film like a fever dream. The camera never rests. It hovers over her shoulder, crowds her space, refuses to let her breathe. Natalie Portman trained for a year. She lost weight. She danced until her body broke. And every single frame of that sacrifice is visible on screen. This film is about obsession, about the cost of art, about what happens when ambition swallows identity whole. The line between reality and hallucination dissolves. So gradually you don't notice until it's too late. By the third act, you don't know what is real. Neither does she. That is exactly the point. That is exactly the horror. 8. Gone Girl, 2014. A wife goes missing on her 5th wedding anniversary. Her husband reports it to the police. He seems calm. Too calm. The media turns on him instantly. And then the diary entries begin. David Fincher is the coldest director alive. He doesn't film scenes, he dissects them. Gillian Flynn adapted her own novel for the screen and sharpened every edge in the process. The result is a screenplay that functions like a scalpel. Rosamund Pike delivers a career-defining performance. Controlled, calculated, terrifying. Ben Affleck plays confused better than anyone expected. This film is about marriage. It is about performance and perception, about how we construct identities for the people around us, and what happens when those identities crack. The plot mechanics are extraordinary, but the real horror is quieter. It lives in the spaces between dialogue, in a look across a table, in a smile that doesn't reach the eyes. Watch it once for the plot. Watch it twice for everything you missed. 7. C7 and 1995. Rain, garbage, darkness. A city that has already given up on itself. 2 detectives. One close to retirement, tired, hollow, wise. One newly arrived passionate, idealistic, not yet broken. They are hunting someone. Someone who believes they are doing God's work. David Fincher's sophomore film is a masterclass in sustained dread. The production design is extraordinary. Every location feels decayed from the inside out. The color palette is almost entirely desaturated, as if the film itself is dying. Howard Shore's score crawls under your skin and refuses to leave. This is not an action film. It is a meditation on evil, on what it costs to look evil directly in the face and not become it. Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt are exceptional, but the real star is the final act, a sequence so emotionally devastating. that it has been studied in film schools for 30 years. You think you are ready for the ending. You are not. No one ever is. 6. The Shining, 1980. A family. An empty hotel. Miles of snow in every direction. And a man with a typewriter, who is slowly becoming someone else. Stanley Kubrick used Stephen King's novel as raw material. Then he built something entirely his own. The Steadicam glides through corridors like a ghost. The geometry of the hotel is deliberately wrong. Rooms that shouldn't exist. Windows where walls should be. Kubrick wanted you to feel that something is off before anything has actually happened. It works. Jack Nicholson's performance has been imitated so many times that people forget how precise it actually is. Watch the early scenes. Watch the slow, methodical erosion of a man. Shelley Duvall was pushed to genuine psychological distress during filming. Her fear is not acted. It is real. That discomfort lives in every frame. This film doesn't give you jump scares. It gives you something worse. A feeling that something is deeply, fundamentally wrong. And it never explains why. It doesn't need to. 5. Memento, 2000. He wakes up. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know how he got there. But he knows one thing. His wife is dead. And he is going to find who did it. Even if he forgets everything by tomorrow. Christopher Nolan told this story backwards. Not as a gimmick, as a necessity. The reverse chronology forces you to experience exactly what the protagonist experiences. Confusion, partial knowledge, desperate pattern seeking. Guy Pearce gives the most underrated performance of the early 2000s. Wally Pfister's photography is precise and cold. Every clue is planted. Every detail matters. This is Nolan before the budgets. Before the spectacle. This is a filmmaker with nothing but a sharp idea and total command of the medium. The film rewards multiple viewings in a way very few films do. The first time, you try to understand it. The second time, you see how perfectly it was built. The third time, you start to question what memory actually is and whether truth matters. If we can't hold on to it. 4. Prisoners, 2013. 2 little girls go missing. Thanksgiving Day, a quiet neighborhood. 1 hour, that's all it takes. And then 2 families are shattered and will never be whole again. Denis Villeneuve directs with absolute control. Every frame composed by Roger Deakins, one of the greatest cinematographers alive. The Pennsylvania winter is gray, oppressive, airless. Johan Johansson's score doesn't comfort. It presses down. It suffocates. Hugh Jackman gives the performance of his career. A father who loves so ferociously that love itself becomes violence. This film does something almost no thriller attempts. It makes you understand the villain. It makes you question the hero. It makes you ask, sitting in the dark, what would I do? How far would I go? And could I live with the answer? There is no easy resolution here. No catharsis. Just the weight of impossible choices and a maze with no exit. Watch it, then sit with it. It will sit with you. 3. The Prestige, 2006. Every magic trick has 3 parts. The Pledge, the Turn, the Prestige. And this film is itself a magic trick. One of the most elaborately constructed in cinema history. 2 rival magicians. 1 obsession. A rivalry that consumes everything. Friendship, love, sanity, and ultimately, identity itself. Christopher Nolan, working with a period setting and a non-linear structure, creates a film that operates on at least 3 levels simultaneously. Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman are both extraordinary, each hiding something, each sacrificing more than you realize. The craftsmanship here is staggering. Wally Pfister photographs Victorian London as if it were a place where secrets grow in the walls. David Julian's score unnerves quietly. And the screenplay Nolan and his brother, is a blueprint disguised as entertainment. The ending doesn't just surprise, it reframes everything. Every scene, every line, every look. This film demands to be seen twice. The second viewing is even better than the first. That is mastery in modern cinema. 1. Split, 2016. You stayed. Through 14 films. Through Hitchcock and Kubrick and Fincher and Nolan. Through moral terror and psychological labyrinths. Through twists that rewrote history. And you stayed. This is why. A man kidnaps 3 girls. That is the premise. But this man is not one man. He is 23. 23 distinct personalities, each with its own voice, body language, intelligence, and agenda. And somewhere beneath all of them, a 24th is emerging. Something none of them can control. Night Shyamalan's comeback was supposed to be modest. Instead, it was seismic. James McAvoy gives one of the most extraordinary performances in the history of psychological cinema. He shifts between personalities in a single take. No cuts, no tricks, just an actor at the absolute peak of his craft. The film is claustrophobic, precise, and quietly devastating. And the final moment. A scene that connects this film to something much larger. Sent audiences into complete shock. This is the hidden gem. This is the one. You earned it. We climbed from solid to spectacular. From Hitchcock's blueprint to McAvoy's masterpiece. 14 films. 14 reasons. The psychological thriller is the most demanding and most rewarding genre in cinema. If this list changed how you think about any of these films, leave a comment below. Tell us which one hit you the hardest. Subscribe, hit the bell, because the next list is already coming, and it goes even deeper.